Let's take a step back. I want to share an idea with you.
Ashton Kutcher is an American actor, director, screenwriter, presenter, and successful investor. He has a whole army of fans and is considered to be a heartthrob. However, for a long time, the nice facade hid internal conflict, rebellion, and defiance of society. But he managed to pull himself together and eventually achieved great success in life. In this video, you're going to learn more about one of the most successful people in Hollywood. How Ashton Kutcher lives and where he spends his millions. Christopher Ashton Kutcher was born in Cedar Rapids, Iowa on February 7, 1978 in a Catholic family of Larry and Diane Kutcher. According to a journalistic investigation, the actor was born not in 1978, but in 1974. But the actor's relatives deny this. The boy was born 5 minutes before his twin brother, who was named Michael. The family already had their older sister Tasha. Their happy family life was shattered when doctors diagnosed Ashton's younger brother with cerebral palsy and a serious heart problem when he turned 3. After that day, the family's life turned into hell. The future actor was extremely concerned for Michael, who could die at any moment. In his interviews, Ashton recalled that he often avoided coming home because he was afraid of hearing bad news. It got to the point that he wanted to become a donor for his brother by jumping off the roof of the hospital where he was staying. Doctors gave Michael at most 2 weeks to live, but his father did the impossible and found a donor within 2 days. Michael had a heart transplant surgery, and now his life is not in danger. He is successful and happy. All 3 children are very close and love spending time together. But the traumatic events of that time left a mark on Ashton's life path. On top of everything else, the parents divorced when the boys were 16 years old, which also became a blow and triggered destructive behavior. While studying in his senior year, he tried to commit theft at his own school, but was detained by the police on the spot. The sentence was depressing: 3 years of probation and 180 hours of community service. In 1996, Ashton enrolled at the University of Iowa to become a biochemist, but he was not destined to become a great scientist. There was not enough money in the family, so he simultaneously began to earn extra cash at the factory where his father worked, and sometimes donated blood for money. One day in a bar, he was invited to participate in a Fresh Faces of Iowa modeling contest, which he easily won. Feeling the taste of victory, he dropped out of school and went to New York to try himself in the modeling business and even gained some success. He appeared on the covers of fashion magazines and collaborated with leading brands such as Calvin Klein and Versace. However, Ashton already had a dream to become an actor. His next step was to go to Los Angeles. His acting career started in 1998 with the TV series That 70s Show. On the set, he displayed a great sense of humor and comedic talent.
I don't know what to say, man.
What about ow?
Why would I say ow?
Which allowed him to launch his own TV show Punk'd, in which he harshly pranked his colleagues and friends. In 2000, 3 films with him were released, namely Down to You, Reindeer Games, and the wild youth comedy Dude, Where's My Car?
Oh, hey, you guys want soup?
Sure.
Yeah, 3 orders of wonton soup.
And then,
Some fortune cookies too.
and then,
Gosh, I think that's about it.
and then.
The popularity of the actor grew by leaps and bounds, as well as the attention from the opposite sex. His first high-profile relationship with actress Brittany Murphy, Ashton, of course, had girlfriends before her, but little is known about them. Allegedly, Kutcher dated actress January Jones and model Ashley Ellerin. Alas, the relationship with Brittany did not last long, and in 2003, Ashton began dating Demi Moore, who had just moved on from her divorce from Bruce Willis. The fateful meeting took place at one of the parties, and Ashton, who had been a little in love with the fatal beauty since childhood, gave up without a fight when she invited him to sail on her yacht. No one really believed in their future together, given the age difference, but this fling turned into a long relationship. At this time, Ashton participated in such projects as Texas Ranger, Grounded for Life, Just Married, Cheaper by the Dozen, and My Boss's Daughter. In all these films, Ashton utilized his comedic talent with might and main, but deep down in his heart, he dreamed of playing dramatic roles. Such an opportunity presented itself to him in 2004 when he starred in The Butterfly Effect. In preparation for the shooting, Kutcher devoted a lot of time to studying psychology and mental trauma, as well as chaos theory. It is noteworthy that in addition to playing the main role, Ashton acted as a producer and even decided to invest his finances in shooting. And not for nothing, with a budget of $17 million, the movie grossed almost $100 million at the box office and was praised by critics.
What? What'd you say to me? Yo, give me the Greek alphabet. Give it to me. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, epsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega, sir. Maybe that's what it is. Don't fucking look at me. Look down.
The following year, the movie A Lot Like Love was released, where he co-starred with beautiful Amanda Peet. The filming was really spicy because Kutcher had to play some scenes completely naked. Ashton didn't particularly like this experience, although at home, he is quite happy to walk around naked. On the set of the next movie, Guess Who?, he flat out refused to remove his Kabbalah bracelet from his hand. The filmmakers had to work hard and spend an additional $100,000 to edit it from the movie, but in some frames, it can still be seen.
Baby, how you're always saying I'm at the office too much? Well, great news. Meet my future father-in-law and tell him I'm unemployed. That'd be great.
Okay. I'll get the next one.
His interest in Kabbalah did not appear in Ashton's life by chance. The mystical teaching was a trend among Hollywood stars of the 2000s. Kutcher and Demi, like many others, attended the Philip Berg's Kabbalah Center International. The former insurance agent adapted the ancient Jewish teachings, supplemented it with his own ideas, and presented Kabbalah as an understandable and convenient self-help course. Given the problems that surrounded the life of the star couple, going to such a guru is quite understandable. In her memoir Inside Out, published in 2019, Demi admitted that soon after she and Ashton started dating, she got pregnant and everything was going great. The couple even decided to name their future daughter Chaplain Ray, but at quite a late stage, Moore lost the baby. It was a real tragedy for her, and Kutcher rushed to propose marriage in order to somehow lessen her grief. In 2005, the couple got married. The ceremony at the newlyweds mansion in Los Angeles was held in full accordance with the teachings of Kabbalah, and immediately after the ceremony, the couple focused on the recovery of Demi, who was being treated for infertility. But the attempts were unsuccessful, and she gradually fell into depression. Demi began to abuse alcohol and drugs, stopped sleeping and eating regularly, which made living together very difficult. In 2006, Ashton was invited for the first time to a cartoon voiceover project. His debut was the animated film Open Season, in which he gave his voice to a deer named Elliot. At the same time, he plunged headfirst into filming of the movies Bobby and the Guardian, which also featured Kevin Costner. It was difficult to shoot the film because terrible hurricanes were raging in the southern United States at that time. 2 years later, the movie What Happens in Vegas was released, which brought Kutcher a frenzied popularity. The hilarious story of how young people share a big win in a casino after a wild drinking binge turned out to be in demand with the public.
We're in a zone over here. I don't want to lose focus. That's how people lose fingers, huh? You're fired. All right, we are fired up, boys. You are fired!
The dynamic mood prevailed on the set as well. The performers of the main roles, Ashton Kutcher and Cameron Diaz, decided to make their acting very realistic and tried to work under the influence. Alas, in addition to fun for the whole group, they didn't achieve the effect and the scenes had to be reshot. Next, the film Personal Effects was released, the highlight of which was the scenes in which Ashton appeared in clothes bearing the symbols of the University of Iowa, which he himself dropped out of. The next landmark movie in Ashton's filmography was the comedy Spread. The critics' opinions were polarized. The film was either highly praised or blown to smithereens. The negative reviews, however, outnumbered the positive ones. Both the acting and the plot were heavily criticized. The latter was considered contradictory, melancholic, and even meaningless. In 2010, Valentine's Day was released, and it had a very unusual structure at that time. The audience saw a number of unrelated stories. The trick was that the main characters of each episode became secondary characters in the next one. The experiment was quite successful, the film was loved by the audience, and the box office exceeded $200 million.
I could be a sappy cheese ball all day, mooning about love to total strangers, and no one will think I'm a moron. 'Cause it's Valentine's Day, huh? And everyone is romantic on Valentine's Day.
In the same year, Kutcher appeared in the comedy movie Killers, during the filming of which there was an incident on the set. The fact is that Ashton accidentally knocked down a stuntman with one punch. He won the Golden Raspberry for this film. In 2011, Kutcher starred in the film No Strings Attached with Natalie Portman. As for the film itself, it was quite successful, grossing $150 million worldwide.
That's it. I'm going for it.
Going for what?
I'm gonna call every girl in my phone until someone agrees to have sex with me.
That's strong. Toast to that.
Toast, that is a terrible self-destructive plan, and we're behind you 100%.
Portman's scandalous interview added publicity to the film when she said that she received 3 times less money for her role than Kutcher. Ashton was not offended, saying that he supports the struggle of actresses for equal royalties. By the way, this movie is very similar to the movie Friends with Benefits starring Ashton Kutcher's future wife, Mila Kunis. Meanwhile, the Kutcher family was falling apart. Demi's condition didn't improve, and rumors about the affairs of the star's spouse literally drove her crazy. The last straw was the revolution of a certain girl from San Diego named Sarah Leal, who was savoring the details of a stormy night with Ashton on the pages of newspapers and on TV shows. In desperation, Demi filed for divorce, requesting a $290 million settlement from the unfaithful spouse. Kutcher did not agree with this ultimatum, which is why the legal battle went on for quite a long time. It's not known how much Demi managed to get in the end, but because of the monstrous tension, she ended up in a psychiatric clinic. Fortunately, she managed to overcome her condition and continue a normal life. Ashton didn't waste any time, and very soon he started dating Mila Kunis, whom he met during the production of That 70s Show. By the way, their first kiss took place during those shootings, which, for a young girl, was the first kiss in her life. Our hero admitted that he didn't know this, otherwise he would have been even more nervous. Rumor has it that the actor began a relationship with her while still married to Demi Moore. The couple didn't have any plans. Ashton was unhappy with his wife, and Mila was trying to move on from the relationship with Macaulay Culkin, which just ended. In 2011, after Charlie Sheen's huge scandal with the CBS studio, which produced the sitcom 2.5 Men, Ashton Kutcher took his place. The audience took the replacement well, and the series was successfully aired for 4 years. That was a really great deal for Ashton because the role he took after Sheen brought him a sizable revenue of $750,000 per episode. And in the last season, the actor earned $20 million.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I was just trying to drown myself.
You trying to commit suicide?
Yeah, I had no idea that the water would be that cold.
In the same year, the movie New Year's Eve was released, and in 2013, the biographical drama film Jobs premiered, which became an important milestone in the actor's filmography. Preparing for the role, Ashton not only watched a lot of interviews with Jobs and copied his gait and manner of dressing, but also switched to a special diet that Steve adhered to. However, the strict diet had dire consequences. The actor ended up in the hospital with pancreatic disease. The film won the hearts of millions of viewers, but also received a lot of backlash. The film was criticized for its shallowness and lack of character presentation of the icon of the digital age. At the box office, however, the results were quite good. With a budget of $12 million, they managed to earn $42 million.
I'm not understanding.
Get out.
What?
Get your shit and get out. You're done.
What are you gonna fire me?
No! I already fired you! Why are you still here?
In the same year, the media noticed Kutcher together with Mila Kunis and her parents, and soon the public learned that the girl was pregnant and the couple was going to legalize their relationship. In October 2014, their daughter Wyatt Isabel was born, and a year later they got married. The celebration turned out to be modest, and the couple went on a honeymoon in a motorhome, taking their relatives with them. In the same 2014, Ashton starred in the musical film Annie, where he once again met Cameron Diaz on the set. Starting in 2016, the actor starred in the Netflix series The Ranch. That year was a happy one for the Kutchers. In November, they had a son who was named Dimitri. Kutcher is one of the few celebrities who can also be considered a successful businessman. His focus is on high-tech startups. Ashton started his way into the investment business after a fleeting conversation with rapper 50 Cent, who managed to earn $100 million on a deal to sell the company Glasgow to the food giant Coca-Cola. This happened because the musician, after signing an advertising contract with Glasgow, had not only a fee but also a share in the company. Ashton thought about it because he himself had advertising contracts, but he received no bonuses in the form of company shares. Since then, he began to look closely at transactions, studied the market, made friends with one of the richest investors, Mark Andreessen, who made $4 billion on the stock market. In 2009, Andreessen offered Kutcher to invest $1 million in Skype, and he trusted his friend. After a while, Microsoft Corporation bought the company, which brought Ashton $4 million in profit. The Hollywood crowd was shocked, and since then, everyone has looked to the actor with even more respect. In turn, he became enamored with such transactions and a few years later met Guy Usiri, whom he found to be very spiritually close to. The risky guys immediately organized an investment fund, and soon such companies as Airbnb, Shazam, SoundCloud, Spotify, and Uber appeared in their portfolio. The profit consisted not only in stock price fluctuations and playing on their own capital, but also in the percentage they charge their clients for managing their money. The commission is 2% of the invested money and 20% of the profit, plus a bonus for the result. Ashton Kutcher doesn't give up his acting career either, so in 2022, he did a cameo in the superhero series The Boys, based on the famous comic book. And in July of the same year, the horror film Vengeance was released, which also brought the actor a good income.
So when you sing this song, I want you to think about how what you're making is the record of your time here on this earth.
In January 2023, the sitcom That 90s Show started, where Ashton appeared with Mila. And very soon, the comedy melodrama Your Place or Mine is expected on Netflix, in which Ashton Kutcher and Reese Witherspoon played the main roles. In addition, Ashton is happy to sign advertising contracts. Some of the commercials turn out to be real masterpieces, so in 2015, he starred in a Lenovo video in Australia in which he played the role of a shop assistant. The twist of the video is that the actor was disguised beyond recognition, and he himself speaks so naturally with an Australian accent that no participant in the hidden shooting could guess who was selling the laptops. Ashton also starred in an advertising campaign for Nikon cameras, which was characterized by a tasteful and subtle humor. Ashton Kutcher can be confidently included in the list of the richest people in Hollywood, since his fortune is estimated at $200 million. With such an income, he can afford a lot, if not everything. You can often see articles in the media that hint that Ashton travels exclusively by Uber taxi, but this can be safely attributed to the hidden advertising of his investment portfolio. In fact, Mr. Kutcher has a whole fleet of luxury and expensive cars. Among them are the Chevrolet Volt for $34,000, the flagship Lexus LS sedan worth almost $100,000, eco-friendly Toyota Prius, Fisker Karma, and Tesla Model S with a total cost of almost $200,000, the Mercedes SLK, a must-have of any self-respecting celebrity, as well as the vintage Chevrolet Impala SS. The actor's real estate portfolio includes the main family villa in Beverly Hills, with an adjacent area of 5 acres, which Mila jokingly nicknamed Cuckoo Farms, combining the first letters of their surnames. The stunning beauty of the villa, which they designed together with the best designers, impresses with its scale and comfort. There are high ceilings, walls, and beams made of dark wood, as well as huge panoramic windows. In June 2017, the family expanded their real estate portfolio with a house in Santa Barbara, paying $10 million for the opportunity to come to their own tropical paradise at any time. The house has 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms. Despite the fact that this dwelling cannot be compared with their Hollywood mansions, it is very nice. Previously, Ashton owned 2 more houses in the Hollywood Hills. He purchased one of them in 2012 for $8.5 million after living in it for a month as a tenant. A spacious modern villa full of light and interesting interior solutions found a new owner 2 years later for almost $10 million. Right at the start of the relationship, Mila and Ashton bought their first joint home located in the prestigious Coldwater Canyon neighborhood. Cute, cozy, and perfect for a young family, the nearly 7,500 square foot home has 5 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms. The living room with a handmade stucco fireplace and a spacious kitchen are the jewels of the house. The couple tried to sell this property for $14 million, but in the end, it was sold for $10 million. That is, for the same amount that the star couple bought it initially. Kutcher is not devoid of altruism. In 2018, he made a very unexpected gift to Ellen DeGeneres' wildlife fund, transferring $4 million to her account. He also surprised his mom by remodeling her house. The touching moment was shown on TV and charmed the fans with the sincerity and warmth of the actor's family. Ashton's twin brother and sister Tasha were also present. Later, Mila joined Kutcher's good work. In 2020, together with the Battle Creek Winery, they launched the Quarantine Wine Project, thanks to which anyone could buy 2 bottles of Pinot Noir for $50 and enjoy it with their loved ones, even if they were away. The gimmick was also that the bottle had a completely blank label on which you could write your wishes or a name. Ashton and Mila accompanied the launch of the project with a video in which they promised to transfer 100% of the profits from sales to charities. By the way, the star couple is not indifferent to the current dire situation in the world. Mila launched a donation drive for refugees who fled Ukraine after February 24, 2022. Together with their husband, they recorded a video message thanks to which they managed to collect and send $30 million to those in need. Ashton Kutcher may seem like a frivolous one-day actor, but this impression is deceptive. He has an excellent sense of humor, excellent intuition, a big kind heart, and many plans for life. What is your favorite role of Ashton's? If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything interesting.